What's up, y'all? It's the Boosh Bag. Miss Boosh Bag to you. Okay, so I don't have much notes, which is good. I call myself trying to condense things and see if I can just remember it from like giving myself a little hint. We gonna see how that's gonna work. Okay, so this episode starts off with Carly going to meet up with Tommy. She got an attitude because now she knows that Tommy is the one that told Jocelyn that she was talking about her. So she's going to meet up with her. And she got a bit of an attitude. So she tells Tommy, well, I heard you was saying this, but like I was talking about Jocelyn, but I wasn't. And Tommy was like, yes, you was. You was saying stuff. It wasn't just everybody else. Y'all was telling me, watch out for her. She a snake, all of this. She was like, well, I'm 100%, you know, I'll keep it real like all the time. So if you wanted to know something, like if something was going on about you bad behind your back or something, I would tell you. Unless, I mean, if you don't want to know, if you don't want me to try to look out for you or whatever the fuck, then I won't tell you shit. So you saying you don't want me to tell you nothing? And Tommy's like, this bitch ain't got nothing no information that I would ever give a fuck about. So no, I don't give a fuck if you don't tell me shit. And she's like, okay, all right, well, I will keep that in mind, and I will never tell you anything that I think that you might want or need to know. I'll just keep it to myself. As she walked off. All right. Dawn and Jocelyn are talking. Apparently they made up. Apparently I missed whatever fucking season where Dawn was doing whatever the hell she was doing, because I genuinely do not remember chick, okay? I don't know who the fuck she is. So they made up and they're like, wow, I'm so happy we're friends again, and they hug and kiss like, oh, I love you, whatever. And then Stevie comes in, and Stevie is mad because whatever he did to them, his ass is not over the shit. Like, what the fuck is this bitch doing in my house? So instead of being, you know, having a little attitude and keeping it pushing, he like, you know what, I gotta fucking say something. He like, what the fuck is up with y'all right now? Like, what are you doing? He's like, because I know Jocelyn already been tripping, spilling all of this motherfucking tea all over the place and starting all these fights and arguments, and now she hang with this bitch and got her in our house. So I'm thinking, he thinking that she's gonna do something sneaky, and they're like in cahoots with each other. So he goes and he's like, so what the fuck is up? He's like, don't try no sneaky shit, you know, like you did before, because I already know what's up and I know what you're trying to do. So he somehow thinks that she might be trying to circumvent him as far as him being her manager. So he comes off at her like that. And he's like, well, you know, I'm your manager, and I got everything that you do has to go through me. And she's like, well, I want to see my contract. He was like, oh, so you want to see the contract? Yes, just give me my contract. I'll do whatever the contract is saying, but can I please have a copy of my contract? And oh, so you're refusing to give me a copy of my contract? He was like, your motherfucking contract. Oh, it's like that? So he's mad as hell, and he basically walks the hell off. He leave the house. He don't even want to be around the motherfuckers no more. Then motherfucker Miss Carly meets up with, wait a minute, my chair got a little vibrator or something down at on it. I'm like, is that vibrating, or do I have like a weird shaky thing in my foot? Sadly, it's a weird shaky thing in my foot. The thing ain't even on. My foot just internally buzzing. I don't like that shit. Pray for me, y'all. Anyway, Carly meets with Scrappy, the big nose one, DeLeon, whatever fuck his name is, at her store, right? And it's supposed to be, you know, to talk about business, a business deal or whatever. First off, she lets him in. She wearing this little ass dress, which is cute, bitch. What? All right, so and when she's bending down to close the little gate thing or whatever the fuck, she fucking stand back up like some old look at my ass type shit, right? And of course, he looked at her ass type shit, and he was like, you know, she dressed like she want to fuck. Is this really a business meeting? Because he feeling a little bit like, you know, I think you trying to make me want you, girl. And that's what's going down. So she talks to him about her radio show or something. I think that she has with Playboy, something like that. and a music label. So he's like, okay, that's cool, that's what's up, we could work together, we could do some things. And then, like, out of the blue, they start, well, not out of the blue, because come on, it started soon as you know, she did that whole little ass thing. They started talking like they flirting or they want to fuck or whatever, and then she like, well, ain't you in a relationship? And he was like, no, you can't be a cheater. Oh, his song is called I'm a Dog or some shit like that. And he was like, but I'm not a dog. She was like, yeah, right. Aren't you in a relationship? He was like, well, aren't you a cheater? Or are you a dog? And he was like, well, you can't be a dog, you can't be a cheater unless you're in a committed relationship, which I am not. She was like, so you ain't got nobody. Like, I ain't in no motherfucking committed relationship, so I am a free agent, honey. And then she's something along the lines of like, how free? And he was like, this free bitch. And fucking took her ass and threw her up on the counter. And I don't really even think that dude is cute all that much. I don't think he's ugly though. I saw somebody wrote on, I think it was on Twitter, they was calling him ugly sexy. I think that's how I was feeling, because I was also mildly moist, because that shit was sexy. Is it me? Or am I just horny? Child. Alright, so if I'm horny, my husband gonna have some good times. But I think that I like his hair when it's up in that little bun, because for some reason I like me a motherfucking man bun. That shit was sexy. So yeah, they was kissing, and I think that Tommy is going to kill Carly Red, because Carly Red might have like a little attitude going on with her, but I don't know if she could fight. And I think that Tommy really can. She is a very viciously aggressive woman. So yeah, I don't think that she should be fucking with this dude like this, but I mean, it's her funeral, you know what I mean? Alright, so then Jocelyn goes to meet up with K. Michelle. K. Michelle is back in town, right? And she is there for good. Alright? And she's saying that she let all these bitches run her out of town. And, you know, and she was like scared. Like, she just let herself be run off. But now she's stronger. Her albums and shit was doing good. And she back. And she not leaving. And she got something for all of these raggedy bitches. The same thing that Jocelyn was saying, basically. And she tells Jocelyn about her, what is it, a listening party? Let me stick to the little bit of note. Yeah. To her listening party. She was like, and I'm inviting everybody, okay? So it's going to be Carly Red, it's going to be Rashida, it's going to be Mimi, and everybody who don't really care for her. So she could throw it in their faces. There's a lot of that going on the show, okay? And she asked Jocelyn about the whole blackmail thing with Carly Red, and Jocelyn once again is denying it and lying like, no, ain't nobody blackmailing her. Like, she is... I'm not even thinking about her. Like, I'm so busy with my life. But bitch, you are lying. You are not motherfucking busy. You are blackmailing her. You are attempting to blackmail her. But I guess she has to do something else to you in order for you to come out with the full blackmail. And then you won't be able to deny that you was trying to blackmail her in the first motherfucking place, because the blackmail will be done. And then people will be like, you lying ass bitch. Okay? You know what I mean? So, K. Michelle... Okay, yeah, she wants to invite all of her enemies and all of that kind of shit. All right, so Stevie goes to Mimi to tell her about all of his problems, right? And she said that she wants to laugh, and so did I, because okay, she's saying, I'm the last person that anybody would think that he would come to talk about his problems with the girl he left me for. And I'm saying, don't it feel good, Mimi? Okay, because I went through this motherfucking thing. I was young. I was so in love with this dude. And when I tell you, he dogged me, he drained me. He made me the asshole that I am today. Because I was, when I tell you I was sweet, when I tell you I was sweet as motherfucking sugar, you better believe it. The kindest, sweetest, most loving little girl you could ever fucking meet, and this motherfucker that flipped my life all which ways and all this kind of shit, and then he just left me. I just heard out of the blue somebody's like, oh, dude is getting married. What? But we're together, and now he's just started acting like better than he ever did. Oh, and he told everybody in my sorority and his fraternity, which is like our brothers unofficially, but still our brothers, Don't nobody tell her where about the wedding, where I'm getting married. Don't tell her nothing about me and my new life. So they just, everybody treated me like I was crazy than a motherfucker. He inviting all of my friends, everybody I know, to all of his shit, and just went off and married this girl and moved somewhere else. And I just asked out. And as young as I was fucked up in the head. 2 motherfucking years later, I'm up and doing summer classes, and his ass is in the pavilion, the little sitting area. The people who are check our IDs, they were like, there was some queue in here to see you. And I was like, so what? I mean, they know where I live. They're my frat brothers. And I turned around and it's him. Ciao. And I went out with him, and he is crying. And I'm telling you, he is crying about the situation with his wife, the chick he left me for, acting like I wasn't nothing. I was a piece of shit and threw me away like a piece of garbage. Now he here crying and he want my sympathy? Ugh. Sadly, I was still soft as hell, and I still did give him sympathy and also some cooch. So I wound up pregnant by... Don't get pregnant, girl, but don't it feel good? And that's all I gotta say about that. Okay, so anywho, he all upset, and he goes and he asks her if he can stay there for a few days. And she like, bitch, that's gonna cause problems with my girl. She already is not really comfortable with y'all being back in town, with us being close, with our history, all of that, and now you trying to come back up in the house, and as long as we've been fucking around and being together, she really ain't gonna trust it. Like, I gotta see, okay? Alright, so, yeah, she need to ask Chris. She asked him, do he need a hug? Because he's sad as hell. He's pitiful, honey. Alright, now Tommy and Jocelyn meet up at a restaurant. And Jocelyn did something that I think was, you know, a pretty classy move, finally. Now, you know, she talk a good game about the whole class thing, but she don't be doing no classy shit, you know what I mean? So I thought that this was a classy act. She's talking to Tommy about fighting at her party, and Tommy appears to be very apologetic about the whole thing. And, you know, she's like, well, it was my fault, but, you know, this girl has been doing stuff, and I was just mad as fuck to see her there, and whatever. And Jocelyn's like, you know, first, you did this at my party, and I hear you also did this at Mimi's party, so, you know, you can't just go around fucking up people's parties, fighting. And Tommy was like, well, I'm sorry to tell you, but I do whatever the fuck I want to do. And I thought Jocelyn was going to really go the fuck off then. Like, look here, bitch. But she did not. I'm sorry. I forgot to do it with the Jocelyn accent. No, bitch. No, bitch. You don't. No, she didn't do that, though. She was like, well, you know, I was out here before, you know, fighting and doing all of this shit and acting all aggressive. But, you know, it's just, it's not smart. It's not good for you. It's not a good look. So, it's better if you calm down. If you learn to woosah and bring it down, honey. Chill. And basically Tommy's like, well, that's where the alcohol came in. Because she was like, you know, y'all could have talked about that whole thing, but you just came at her like, do you know me? Do you know me? And then like, boom. Like, she didn't have a chance to speak for herself. Like, it was handled very ridiculously. Like, that's not an adult way to handle things. So Tommy's like, well, look, I've been drinking too much. She was like, and I'm not even like no drunk or no shit. She was like, but I feel like I'm becoming a drunk. I'm drinking so much because there's so much shit going on. I'm feeling I'm losing my mind over this motherfucking dude. And I don't know if I'm fucking coming or going. She feeling like she going crazy, and it's making her drink because she apparently at this point is self-medicating. She crying and she looked just pitiful. I think she really does need to get some help. She need to nip everything that's going on with her emotions, her self-esteem issues. She need to go talk to somebody, a psychologist, somebody to help her sort through her emotions and leave this motherfucking guy alone, because he don't mean her no good, which we already know, because he motherfucking making people's jaws wet by lifting people up in stores and letting us see it. Yeah, so he no good. Poor thing. All right. So then Carly is with Jessica Don, and she's telling her about her and Scrap de Leon hooking up and kissing, and she like, ew, really? And he been fucking around with Tommy? Like, you would be doing stuff with somebody who is, because when she walked up, Carly was on her phone and like looking at messages and like pictures of her and Scrap and smiling, and she was happy as hell. And then when the girl came, she like, oh, what? It's like, bitch, what you smiling like that for? Fuck is going on? Because I think it's a man. So yeah, it's a man, and she's telling her, she was like, so you did kiss him? You kiss it? She was like, no, I kissed him. Well, he started to kiss. He kissed me. And it felt good. She was like, do you see the crazy shit going on with these girls fighting over him and all of that shit? And she was like, yes, bitch. And now I know why. Yes. All right. So, apparently, Scrap ain't no slouch. He does good work. Apparently. All right. Well, I won't be kissing him, but I'll take her word for it. And she was like, she's basically making it seem like she was like, it was all about business, and the business this, and I was talking about it, and then this happened like out of the blue. But I'm telling you, and because I already motherfucking said it, she was acting like a motherfucking hoe. She knew she wanted to get dealt with up in there with that outfit and the way she was acting, and then she was asking him like how he liked it and talking about sex. Like, that ain't no business conversation. So, bitch, you wanted it and you got it. So don't try to put all blame on him, is what I'm saying. Especially when that girl come and beat your ass over him, because yeah. All right. The baby mama crazy. Oh, and his mother been on America's Most Wanted, right? So she like, I think really with the two girls and with his crazy ass baby mama, I think you're in over your head. I think you need to chill, all right? Because he ain't right. I mean, she don't really see the motherfucking the thrill in being with somebody who very, very easily could destroy every fucking thing about your life. Then she goes on to tell her that not just other Scrappy, but number one Scrappy been trying to talk to her, but she doesn't know that that he broke up with Bam. So she like, he been calling me, and I'm like, motherfucker, please, I know you got a girl. And he's trying to deny it and say that he not with Bam no more, but she don't really believe it. All right, Mimi and Chris have to have a talk. So Chris comes over. Mimi already said that Chris been acting very distant since, definitely since that party that she begged her to go to, and she already feel completely uneasy about the Jordans being in town and all of that shit. So basically, she explains to her that Stevie came over and Stevie asked to stay there, and she like, well, sometimes you put some shit on the table, you put some more shit on the table, you got a big ass pile, the table gonna break. So Mimi is crying, and she was like, are you breaking up with me? She was like, what I'm doing is giving you some time to think. She was like, because you and Stevie and Eva are a nuclear family. And I don't want to be in the way of, if that's something that you need to do in order for your family to thrive or for your daughter to be okay, then that's what needs to happen. And I don't need to have my emotions caught up in this shit no more. So I'm going to let you go and figure your shit out. And that's it. So they broke up, and Mimi's sitting in there crying, and yeah, Chris did not seem to burst into tears or anything. I'm like, does she give a fuck at all? Alright, Carly shows up to K Michelle's video that she's recording, and being supportive like she was of Jocelyn, all happy, yes bitch, you're doing great, I love it, whatever. And when they start talking, K Michelle tells her about her listening party and how she wants to invite everybody because, she's over all the stuff and whatever. And she gives Carly all of the invitations to give to the girls because, of course, Carly's friends with them and she'll be able to give them the invitation. She's going to see them and all of that stuff. Yeah. So, after that, all the girls actually meet for Mimi and Ariana, whatever, for their birthday. And yeah, I guess their birthdays are close together. They're coming up. All the girls are together. And while they're out, Carly gives out all of the invitations. And they're all like, bitch, please, freeze, ease. None of these. So they're not going. They don't give a fuck about her party. And Jessica Dime didn't even get one because when Jocelyn and K. Michelle was talking, she was like, well, I'll invite everybody, but not that Dime bitch. Now, Dime is saying they were actually supposed to be the ones that were supposed to be friends, so she don't even really know what's up, but she didn't even get an invitation. I'm like, if you're inviting your enemies to your listening party, even if I'm your enemy, so you're inviting people you like and who you don't like. I'm not a person you like or don't like damn. So Mimi was like, girl, please, here, you can have mine. So Mimi's not going, and she gave her invitation to Jessica Dime. So I don't know if Jessica Dime's going to show up. It would be a thirsty move unless she just go in there just to be, you know, starting shit, you know what I mean? And then Bambi is out with that dude Chaz. And you know what? Chaz is cute, huh? He is to me. Kind of remind me a little bit of Maxi Priest, and so what if y'all don't know who he is, because I'm old as hell, and I do know who he is, and he was cute, right? Maybe he don't look like Maxi Priest, but he remind me of him, you know what I mean? So he's cute. I like Chaz. But I gotta find out how many kids he got, because that brings down your likability factor quite a bit, okay? And Dime and Carly, I think Carly and Jessica Dime come over there, and they're saying, hey girl, and she was like, oh hi, I'm here with this guy, and it's, you know, it's so nice, whatever.
I got to give Miss Bam some props, some thumbs up. You used just the right amount of fucking hair this time, because bitch, your hair has been ridiculous for the past few motherfucking weeks, and I will be the first to say, knock that shit the fuck off. The big ass extra shit going, the poofiness, and it's like so much weave, like really, it's like you want the whole store weave and wanted to wear all of it at the same time. Yeah, this was much more cute, a lot thinner, a lot more logical amount of hair on your fucking head, and it looked good. So keep doing that, okay? All right? Okay.
So, once Jessica sees that they're together, she was like, oh, she's on a date. She was like, oh, okay. So I guess that makes more sense about why Scrappy been calling me. So she was like, well, girl, Scrappy been calling me. She was like, oh, has he? Oh, I'm sorry. Bam is like, oh, has he? And she was like, yeah, and I'm, you know, whatever. But to me, even the way that Dime was saying it, didn't really seem like she was trying to start a fight. It seemed like she was like, that motherfucker been calling me. Like, you know, maybe a little bit of tea, a little bit of gossipy sort of thing. Like, for real, girl? But Bam did not take it that way. And she was like, okay, well, I don't need to know that. She was like, but I told you, it's not my business. Well, I made it your business. No, you didn't. And you know what, bitch? Why is this bitch over here anyway? And then it just got out of control. They didn't wind up fighting because the producers came in and kept them apart. But like I said, Bam did not take it the way that Dime was saying it originally, and then after a while, Bam got, of course, offended being called bitches and whatever. Why the fuck is you here? And then she started saying ignorant shit back, like, whatever, bitch, I'll take your old man, I'll take your motherfucking new man, bitch, whatever. So it just, like I said, it got crazy after both of them were mad, and they had to be broken apart. And that's how this episode ended. So I don't even think this was that long. I like this new style of doing the video thing that I'm doing. Instead of writing down tons and tons of sentences, just watch the whole clip and then just say what I remember and write that. Okay, all right. So anywho, let me know if you agree with my review and or / recap. If these motherfuckers be tripping, if Scrap is seeming sexy even though I don't, all right, if Carly Red gonna get her ass busted, all of this shit that I said, if you agree, let me know in the comments. If you do not agree, let me know in the comments. If you know of another show that you would like me to review, I'm gonna put a poll right here. You can click on the shit and choose something, right? Or write it in, I guess, if that's even an option. You'll see when you see the poll, right? Let me know a show that you might want me to review. And I'm thinking I might go back to my rants, which is just basically finding shit that I was hearing about on the news or where the fuck ever, online and talking about it, you know what I mean? So I might be going back to that because they're fun to do, and that's, you know, the original thing that Miss Bouchbag was doing in the first goddamn place. But anywho, until the next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Make sure you check out my previous video. At the party, she sees me eating Chris. When you can, go and check out my natural hair and beauty channel for hair beauty tutorials. And if you're a fitness buff or just want to get your fitness on, go and check out some of my free exercise videos on my fitness channel.